Hey guys, it's Tim here. I just want to show you some stat lines from the game that I played today on Madden 16. The Giants and the Redskins. Final score of the game was 31 to 10. And it was a very good game, I might say. You know, as you can tell from the box score here. I'll start off with the offensive yards gained for the Redskins. I was the Giants. For the Redskins, it was 270 yards. I'll read the Redskins line first. For the Redskins, it was total offensive yards. It was 270 total yards offensively. 122 rushing yards. They didn't do so hot. Passing yards was 148. They just had a bad game. They had 10 first downs, and for punt return yards they had 27. Kick return was 12 yards. Didn't really allow them to break away. Total yards gained. Now this one kind of killed me. Their running game is what killed me. 3 turnovers for 3 interceptions. It was 3 interceptions. They had one third down conversion the entire game. That was something I gotta fix that or something. No 2-point conversion. The red zone percentage was perfect. 1 red zone touchdown and 1 red zone field goal. Penalty yards, they had quite a bit. They had 57. Possession was 14 minutes and 57 seconds. The entire game. Now we'll go to the Giants section here. Scroll all the way back up. For the Giants now, they had 462 yards offensively gained. That's not too bad, Rushing yards, just over 200. Ran the ball a lot with Rashad Jennings. Passing, 260 yards. That's actually pretty low for me. I mean, I've passed the ball more in any game that I've ever played, and I didn't think I had to pass the ball too much, because I had a good running game with Rashad Jennings and Andre Williams. First downs, they had 19. Punt return yards, 14. Kick return, 36. Didn't get quite as much as I wanted, but I guess that's what happens when you're playing against a computer. Total yards gained, 512. Now, I don't know if that's just a Madden thing or the settings I had it set on. But it was fairly decent. Turnovers, it was 1 interception. Third down conversions, they had 11 out of 22. Their red zone percentage was perfect. 3 touchdowns in the red zone, 1 field goal, and 2 missed actually. John Brown missed, ones that normally I wouldn't miss, but penalty yards, they caught me for 53 yards. Time of possession, 37:03. Go back to player stats. Ryan Nassib came into the game in about the second or third quarter. Don't remember which. came in for Eli Manning. He got hurt most of the game, for half the game, I should say. His rating was 108.3. He only threw the ball twice for 20 yards. Oops. Let's see here. He wasn't sacked at all. He only completed 2 passes for 20 yards and 100% in relief of Eli Manning. Eli Manning, on the other hand, he was injured. He had a abdominal strain, so he was out for majority of the game. Eli Manning was 89.1 for 249 yards, 1 passing touchdown, and 1 interception. Normally, I'm throwing 3-4 picks a game. Oops, sorry about that. He was sacked twice. Oh wait, that's Kirk Cousins. Sorry, he was 22 for 32. He had 68% completion percentage. His average was 7.8. And then here we'll go back to Kirk Cousins now. Kirk Cousins, he was injured. He got injured too throughout the game. He came back about the 4th quarter. He was Kirk Cousins. 26.5 for his rating. 175 passing yards. He was picked off twice. And then his longest pass was 45 yards. He was sacked twice. He had only 8 completions for 23 attempts. A dismal 34%. His average was 7.6. Now, when Colt McCoy came in, he was Colt McCoy. Let's put it that way. He had a rating of 0 for only 5 yards. He was not a quarterback. He was something out of like a cartoon or something. He was that bad. He had 1 pick. He was sacked 3 different times. He only had 1 completion out of 10 attempts. He was a very dismal 10%. His average, it was 5/10 of a yard. It was bad. We'll go rushing now for rushing. Rushing for Rashad Jennings, he used 34 attempts for 124 yards. He averaged 3.6 yards per carry. 3 rushing touchdowns, no fumbles. Normally I'm fumbling. 2 broken tackles. Yards after the first hit was 56. Not too bad for him today. That was a plus 20 yard. He had only that once. His longest run was 50 yards. For Alfred Morris, he was on 15 attempts for 68 yards. Average 4.5. No touchdowns. No fumbles. 2 broken tackles. 22 yards after the first hit. Sorry about that. My voice is kind of scratchy. Longest run was 22. For Kirk Cousins now. Kirk Cousins killed me. He was, I couldn't stop him. 2 attempts for 26 yards. He had 1 rushing touchdown, and that was for, let's see here, that was for 16 yards. That was a 16-yard rushing touchdown. Colt McCoy, he ran twice for 23 yards. His average was 11.5 yards. No passing, no rushing touchdowns. No broken tackles. 3 yards after the hit. One rush for 20 plus. His longest was 25 yards. Nikita Whitlock, gotta give the fullback some love here. 3 for 6. And no touchdowns for him today. We'll go Pierre Thomas. He was 4 for 5. No touchdowns. Oops. Receiving now for the studs that were studs, I should say. Larry Donnell, he was 8 for 35. He did pretty decent. Receiving yards after the first reception was 4.4. 33 yards after the first catch. Run after the catch was 4.1. Longest reception was 12 yards. For Ruben Randall. Ruben Randall type day. Oh, and I should note, sorry guys, I'm on my phone. That's the only way I can record anything. Don't have an actual camera. But anyway, back to stats. Ruben Randall was 5 for 101 yards. Very Ruben Randall-like, I should say, in my book. 20 yards after per reception. He had no touchdowns, and he was yeah, we'll skip that. Odell Beckham, he wasn't Odell Beckham like you know and love. He was 4 for 59 for one touchdown through the entire game. Victor Cruz, he was 3 for 53 for no touchdowns. Pierre Garcon for the Redskins, he was 2 for 62. Alfred Morris for the Redskins, he was 2 for 33 for no touchdowns. Jordan Reed for the Redskins, 2 for 30. Rest was all dismal dismal play. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, no. Hold on one second. I want to look at something. Kicking. We'll go kicking this time. We'll give the kicker some love. Josh Brown. He was 1 for 2. 50% field goal percentage. He had missed a couple field goals. He was he missed a couple, which were heartbreakers. Those should have been made. Dustin Hopkins for the Redskins, he was 1 for 1. And now that's it. I mean, you guys can watch this video and comment whatever you want. That's 63 to 30. That was just me messing around. That was really nothing. I'm gonna show you the sliders that I use. Now the sliders I use, they're by a YouTuber called by the name of Arios. He's, from what I understand, he's a well-known YouTuber for realistic stats, videos, all that stuff. So I'm going to show you what he uses and what I use, the settings I use for him. I go on All Pro. You know, All Madden is way too slow or way too fast for me. For some reason, I'm just comfortable with All Pro. I play 12-minute quarters, 13-minute quarters, or 15-minute quarters, but I cut it down to 12 because it's time-consuming. Auxiliary clock off. The game speed I changed to fast due to it lacking in realisticness, I should say. Don't know how to really say that. I have everything off just for a realistic feel. Well, wait. That's usually on, but I usually turn it off in game time. For the sliders now, we'll go to sliders here. Oops. Let's go one more over. Sliders now. Like I said, for sliders I use the YouTuber Arios. His sliders seem pretty realistic. You know, I had to make some tweaks for the penalties and for fumbles. You know, gotta have fumbles in the game. But for the most part, I have the same settings. But for injuries are 87. You know, I've noticed that in this game that they're really low. So, you know, 87, it doesn't hurt me too much, but it gets injuries. Penalties, they actually work. You know, I'm surprised that they finally work. But the only thing I haven't noticed yet is the defensive and offensive pass interference is set at 100. Now, I've only had that called once. Through most of the penalties that I've had in this game are clipping and roughing the passer. Now, it's set at 73 because 80 is just too fast. It's just too much for me. You can leave your comments here below. If you have any comments or feedback, you know, I would love your feedback. You know, new at this. I've never really done commentary videos. I just, you know, post it and see if I can get the views. But if I don't, oh well. Anyway, you know. Anyway, I'll let you guys go, and happy Maddening.